Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're well. Today we're going to talk about British versus American language. That's right. So, what do you think, guys? When some of you start to appear, if anyone starts to appear, should I say, we will begin talking about British versus American. There's many varieties of words, and let's top up on some of those. So, if you're in the chat, it'd be great to know what words do you know that American speakers use that British people don't. Do you know any? Do you know any differences? We're going to pop on and talk about a bit about food, actually, to start with. So I'll just get my notes. So what words do you know that British speakers use that American speakers don't? Do you know any? Can you hit me up with some? What do you think? Do you know any? Tell me in the chat if you do. And I'm going to say one, and then maybe in the chat you can give me the answer, what you think the American is for this British word. So let's start off a little easy. How about the word chips? Chips. What do you think the American is for chips? What do you think? Let me go to my notes. What do you think? Tell me in the comments if you think you have a clue. What do you think? So chips, those things that you eat, the fried food, they are fried, made out of potato. Do you know what they are in American? Do you know what the word is? Okay. I'm going to just go into it, I think. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here for a while. But yeah, so chips. What? Chips. That's right, chips. You got it, buddy. That is the picture for chips. But what is the American word? American. What do you think the word is? My American accent is really poor, by the way. Really, really bad. What do you think the American is for chips? I'm going to tell you, chips in American equals French fries. Chips is French fries. Crazy, yeah? Have you heard of French fries? I did a joke about them the other day. Did you see? I did a joke about French fries, or chips, should I say? Oh, where were French fries made? Do you know? They weren't made in France, so where were they made? Do you know? They were cooked in Greece, because obviously Greece is what they're cooked in. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm a dad, so it's a dad joke, so I'm allowed to do that. So we've just done chips, but how about crisps? So in Britain, we say crisps. What do you think the American word is for crisps? Maybe you know this one. It's quite a common one. What do you think the American word is for crisps? I'd love to know. Tell me in the comments if you know. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. Great to see some of you here. We just did a good live on Instagram. It's great to see you there as well if you joined. What do you think the American is for crisps? I need a some kind of setup on here, don't I, when I do these, so it looks a bit better. But this is okay for now, isn't it? Like spicy, not quite. Just the opposite word for crisps in American English. Maybe it's easier if I say the American, because I think many people know the American word more so than the British word, I guess. So crisps in American is potato chips. So maybe you know potato chips, but we say crisps in England. Okay, so how about let's do an American word. What do you think the British is for zucchini? Do you know what zucchini is? Oh, I definitely spelled that wrong. Do you know what zucchini is? An H in it, that sneaky little H. Let me do that one again for you. Do you know what zucchini is? And do you know what it is in... Yo, Topoki, nice to see you. Do you know what zucchini is in British English? What do you think? It's not cucumber, by the way, but that's a good guess. It's a green vegetable that looks like a cucumber. For sure, it does. But what is zucchini in... What did I say? in British English? Zucchini. Zucchini. My American accent is very poor. But yeah, what do you think zucchini is in British English? I'm going to tell you. It is. That's a bikini. Nice try, though. I love it. I love it. It's very close. It's a courgette. How do I post it? What has happened there? There we go. Courgette. It's a courgette. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's definitely not a bikini, though. Sorry to disappoint you there. A nice try, for sure. And then how about eggplant? Eggplant in American. What do you think the word is? This one's a tough one, by the way. If you don't know, you don't know. It's a French word, really. What do you think that is, though? This is going to be a nice new word for you, for some of you, I think. Eggplant. American is eggplant. But what do you think it is in British English? Obviously, it's not eggplant, yeah? But I think, you know, American, because of TV, it even has started to infiltrate, I'm going to say, or they started to affect people in Britain, because we see a lot of people speaking in American English or British TV. So some words, some pronunciation begins to change. That's right. Very, very good. It means aubergine. Eggplant in British English is aubergine. That's right. Spot on. Great job. I love it. Fantastic. Great to see you guys here, by the way. Thank you so much for joining in. And we're going to do one last one. Let's do... Oh, no. I got two more for you. So, biscuit. Biscuit. What is biscuit in American? You probably know this one. So think hard. If you know what a biscuit is, what do you think another word for a biscuit could be? Actually, I'm going to tell you a little story about these. The other word for this really is referring to one specific type of biscuit. I wouldn't even call it a type of biscuit. It's its own thing. We do use this word in England, but biscuit is more common, way more common. Like it is the word we use, really. But the word is cookie. So cookie. Yeah, you got it. Nice job. That's fantastic. Cookie is the word. So we actually do use this word as well, but it refers to those circular cookies, maybe with chocolate chip inside. And yeah, we use those. We use it for just that. No other kind of biscuit. So yeah. And then last one, very last one. I just found it for another one. This is going to kill me. I think this is going to happen each time. If you go to the fairground, in England, you might get some candy floss. What do you think that is in American English? Candy floss. What do you think that is in American English? It looks like a cloud on a stick. Is the best way to put it. A cloud on a stick. Christina, nice job. Yes, right. It is cotton candy. Candy floss is cotton candy. We're going to be heating up a lot in this one session, guys, by the way. So if you're here, make sure you got your notepad to pocket. I already know you've got yours out. So yes. And then how about last one is fairy cake. Fairy cake. I love this word. Fairy cake. It's super cute, isn't it? What do you think a fairy cake is in American English? Fairy cake. It's it looks like a small cake, obviously so, but it's like, you might also hear the word muffin. Muffin, it kind of looks like a cupcake or a fairy cake. Yeah, that's right, cupcake. You got it, spot on. Nice job. So how about we go on to some cloves? Some cloves. So what do you know about cloves? Do you know what the American word is? Oh, which way around should we do this? No, we're going to say, tell me some words you would use for something you put on your legs. So tell me in the comments, what do you call things that you put on your legs? There could be many things, really, couldn't it? But what do you think? Can you tell me anything that you put on your legs, clothing-wise? Clothes. It must be clothes. So what do you think? Tell me. What do you think? What can you put on your legs? A cap? No, don't put a cap on your legs. Doesn't cover much, does it? So what do you put on your legs? What do you think? There are many things you can put on your legs. What do you think? What do you think? Clothing wise, t-shirt? No, 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 no. You can obviously, but it doesn't work so effectively, does it? So in England, we usually put on our legs a pair of trousers. So what do you think trousers is in American? American. My American accent is so poor, but I want to get better. What do you think? Yeah, Christina, you're awesome. Pants or jeans, but they're kind of more specific vocabulary. So you might have a pair of jeans. You might have a pair of corduroys. Corduroys. Oh, I really struggle with spelling that one. Corduroy. I'm going to check that. Word I never use. Corduroys. But there, that's the type you might. Oh, very close. So yeah, they're like a type of trousers. Maybe you use those. I used to like wearing corduroys. They're kind of easy to use, for sure. Okay, yes. And then also, how about what we also say pants in English, in British English? Woo, not in English. We use pants in British English, but what for? What do we use pants for? What do you think? What's the American for pants? It's not pants, not in the way that, not in the same way as we said earlier. It's a little different. So we use pants in British English, but not in that traditional sense of like trousers. We use it for something else. So what do you think? What do you think pants could be? If you've got an idea, chuck it in the comments. In British English, we've got pants. But what is it in American? I'm going to tell you in 3, 2, 1. Now, great job. That's right. It's underwear. So if you live in Japan, now I guess potentially you're from Japan because you have a Japanese first name, or Japanese sounding first name, should we say. Pants probably comes from Britain because we use pants in Japan as well, don't we? So it's probably from Britain. I couldn't tell you for 100% sure, but I can't imagine it's referring to trousers. Okay, great stuff. How about a sweater in American? What do we say in British English? Sweater, that thing you put over the top of your body to keep warm in the winter. What do you think? What do you say in British English? Pullover is a great shout. That is a great word as well. But that's not the answer, I'm afraid. It's kind of a funny word, really. If you were just reading the word, it doesn't make sense to be used with clothes, but it is. So what do you think? It's not pullover, unfortunately. Pullover is a good one. And there's a couple of different versions of this that you could use, actually. And I'm going to tell you in 3, 2, 1. The answer is jumper. Jumper. So instead of a sweater, we call it a jumper. We do seldomly use the word sweater, but jumper is more common, far more common. And the jumper really, jumper and sweater is a bit of an interesting one because a sweater really refers to something without a zip. And a jumper really refers to something that has a zip, like a hoodie. But we do, you know, as language evolves, we try and make things as simple as possible. And jumper has really taken over for most items of clothing that covers your body after you wear a t-shirt. Apart from something like a cardigan, you know, a cardigan's a little different. So, yeah, that's just something to be aware of. And then how about a, oh, there was a good one I had the other day as well. Yeah, what do they call that in American? I'm going to have to research one really nice one for winter. As we got winter here, there's a really, really, really nice word, which is, we use bobble hat. Bobble hat in British English. Do you know what a bobble hat is? Man, that's a mental word, isn't it? Bobble hat. I'm going to check it out. There is definitely a different word for it. They don't use the bobble hat. Ah, yeah, sure. So again, another word I don't really use, to be honest. But yeah, Christina, spot on. You got it, beanie. And in Canadian, it's got another name as well, something like toque. I want to say it's toque. Maybe toque. Hi, Paolo. I'm wonderful, thank you. It's not knitted. Toque, yeah, toque in Canadian. Yeah, I remember talking to my friend about that. So toque, bobble hat, beanie, toque, all the same. Or knitted cap as well sometimes. But really, a bobble hat has that little thing on the top of it. So they're kind of, again, another one where they kind of mix together a little bit, even though they refer to specific things, they kind of go together. How about rain boots? The American word rain boots, the American term for boots that you wear, funnily enough, in the rain. What do you think it is in British English? What do you think? How often British people will say cheers? Very often. Yeah, but it depends on the region you're from in England. Cheers, mate. Yeah, that's quite common, to be honest. It's a great question, though. So rain boots, what do you think rain boots is in? So, for example, in the north, some areas in the north, I don't know, actually, if everyone uses this. It's really stereotyping, I suppose, in a sense. But many people on TV say, see a chuck, see a chuck in the north, in a more northern area like Yorkshire. So yeah, there's a variety of different see yous and hellos, you know. But rain boots in England, yeah, well, there's two words really. I'm going to put the main one where the first one comes from, and then I'm going to put in brackets the shortened version, and that's Wellingtons or wellies. We say wellies instead of rain boots. And then umbrella. Umbrella in American or in British, we also use umbrella, but we have a super British term for an umbrella. And if you followed me since the very start, if you've been with me since day one or just after day one, really a week later, you would have seen this word. I've made a post about it a long time ago, over a year ago. It's a really British word. What do you think? Umbrella. Do you know any other terms for umbrella? Difficult one, isn't it? Difficult one. What do you think? What do you think? I will tell you in just a second. Especially on a wet day, you will hear this word a lot in England for sure. It really is a super common word, which is brolly. A brolly. We use a brolly. It's an umbrella. That's right, you got it, Paolo. It isn't a tool that you use to protect for the rain. You're spot on, but we use the word brolly instead of umbrella. Yeah, interesting one, isn't it? Quite strange, different, but I mean, it's good, I think, to learn these other terms you might hear. You might hear this word. Yes, those are a couple there for you. I hope those are useful. Let's go back on track. And let's go to, we've done cloves pretty much, haven't we, really? And we did some vegetables as well. Oh, how about, I'm really happy to have you here too. Thank you so much for joining. How about, what do you call that? An apartment. I'm getting used to a lot of terms here as well. And I hear a lot of American terms since I'm in Japan. It's kind of overrun with American terms here because, you know, when they grab terms away from America or England, and I work currently in an American school, so I hear this word all the time, apartment, but I don't really use it, to be honest. I never used it in England because we have another word which two people have put in the comments. Great job, you two guys, by the way. It's flat. We say flat, which is really weird, isn't it? Really weird. What? Flat, as in, no. We use it for something that's really tall. So that makes zero sense, doesn't it? You know, it's really strange, but that's English, I suppose. How about then? We've done apartment. What about in American? You might hear first floor. What do you think the British is for first floor? Interesting one, isn't it? What a strange question. Why am I asking you? What could there be another word for first floor? Surely not. It's crazy. Oh, really? In Hong Kong, you say flat as well. That is amazing information to know. So, but that makes sense because of the colonization, I suppose. So, first floor in American. What do you think is said in. Hi Yuki, nice to see you. Yes, you got it completely spot on. Ground floor. In America, they also use ground floor, but it's a little bit rarer. You hear it less often. But if you hear second floor in American, you will hear first floor in England. That is definite. That is a very, very big difference. So first floor, I should really stick to one side. You know, first floor in American will be second floor. Sorry, second floor in America will be first floor in British. We always start on the ground floor. Yes, that's true. It's true. Okay, okay, then we're going to go into places. So I did this one earlier with Mike. I was having a chat with Mike from 212 English and Canon, a YouTuber from Japan. And we were doing some of these earlier, so that's why I thought I'd do them with you. Americans say subway, and maybe if you know anything about British English, you probably already know this one. This is probably the one that's the most common translated phrase. There we go. Look at that. You are on fire. Tube or underground. Tube is great as well. I was just going to put underground, but yeah, tube. Obviously, we said tube quite often. But London Underground is very, very famous. Okay. And how about in American? You might say, definitely more likely to say that word, aren't you? Yo, Mohammed, nice to see you. Mind the gap between the train and please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Yes, it's true. It's what a strange, like that one sentence. You see that on so many T-shirts. It's crazy, but it's like just safety information. But they made a T-shirt out of it. It's great, isn't it? Drugstore in American. What's it called in British English? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Drugstore in American. What do you think it is in British English? We do use pharmacy, but there's a different word as well. Have you got any more? Americans also use pharmacy, though. What do you think? There's another word. Can you think of any more? We do use pharmacy. We do, but so do Americans. So can you think of any more? There's one more. And I'm going to give you that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is. We have chemist. Chemist. So yeah, it's probably the more common term you'd hear, but we do use pharmacy, of course. That might have changed again. I know pharmacy is a big part of, we do use that as well, but like I said, as language evolves, and we probably simplify stuff, to be honest. I guess you'll probably hear some combinations of vocabulary and combinations of pronunciation in the future, rather than having, it doesn't make sense to have separate pronunciations of the same language, does it really? And through TV, like I said earlier, there's a lot of American TV or British TV, and I actually put out a post, maybe, how long ago was that? On TikTok, I put it out maybe at the start of the year, so maybe in January, with one of my friends, where I said like the difference between advertisement and advertisement. And an English speaker actually came into the comments and said, "Oh, I actually say it the American way," because you know on TV we hail all these words on TV as well. Oh, how about this then? Line, like somewhere where you stand with other people to try and get something, for example. What do you think? Line. Wow, Paolo, you are super swift. You got it, buddy. Q is the answer. We use Q a lot. We love to queue in England. It's one of our famous, one of our stereotypes, I believe, that many people know about us. We love to queue quietly, and we love to drink lots of tea, and we all love the Queen. That's completely not true. Like everyone does different things, you know. And not everyone loves the Queen. It's just a stereotype. And by the way, all British people, all British men, we are all gentlemen. For sure. Obviously, that's a bit of deliberation about that. How about this then? Let's go on to cars. Okay, so I said the other day that I said today in a live on Instagram, if you saw it, that I don't know much about car vocabulary. It's not one of my strong points. I'm not interested in cars, you know, and we kind of follow our interests even in our native tongue to words that we know. And yeah, car vocabulary is not I'm not interested. So I've done some research on it. I did some a little while back, but I have to refresh my mind now and again. And obviously there's some differences between British and American for car vocabulary. So I'm going to start with, okay, when you have to go into like turn right or turn left, this yellow light comes on. A yellow light comes on your car. And in American, they say blinker, but we did not use this word at all in British English. We do not use it at all. We use a different word. What do you think? So blinker is used in American. I wonder what you guys use actually. Do you know what I'm talking about here? On a car, when you turn left or right, you have to do something on your car, and the yellow lights go off on one side, or if you've got your hazard lights on, maybe both are flashing at the same time. These yellow lights. Hi, buddy. Nice to see you. And so instead of blinker, we actually use indicator, the indicator light. We're indicating that we will turn right. So whilst blinker makes a lot of sense, yellow light blinking on and off, yeah, sure, that makes 100% sense. But we use indicator because of the verb indicate. We're telling someone where we're going to go. To indicate something is telling someone something is going to happen. So yeah, we use the word indicator. And then how about the front of the car? In American, they use the word hood. Hood. So you pop your hood to check out the engine, check everything's working fine. What do you think in Britain we use instead of hood? So this is the front of the car that can go up. Yeah. Nice. Wow, that was swift. Bonnet. And I think that's a really specific term. So that's amazing that you know it. That's great. Nice work. That's probably because I don't know anything about cars, to be honest. And so we'll go to the reverse then, where you put all your luggage. What about the trunk? What do you think we say in British English? In American, it's trunk. What do you think? That's a truck. You're close. T-R-U-C-K. Someone asked a question earlier as well. Maybe I can go back to that. Boop, 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 boop. How can I improve in my impersonation? I have got problems with my speaking. If you know what pronunciation issues you have, you could just type that into Google, like how to practicing the L and R sounds. For example, if you're from Japan, you probably know that this is a little problem for some people. You can type a thing like that into Google, and pretty much you'll find someone with their mouth on display showing you how to use your mouth for that pronunciation. If you know the specific problem, it's very easy to fix. It's just repetitive practice. You have to you have to adjust where your tongue, your lips are currently at, so they can adjust to a place where an airflow, obviously, where that it can change to be the correct sound. Yeah. So I recommend, if you know what the problem is, like maybe it's past tense ed, because there's so many different varieties or something like this, check on Google. Google is your mother, as I like to say. And trunk, the British word is boot. We use boot, which is weird as well, isn't it? We have many weird words for sure. Okay, in England, when I was in England, I used to like to get a takeaway. You a fan of a takeaway? Oh, no worries, buddy. It happens, I do the same thing in Japanese, so no worries. What do you think takeaway? What's the American for takeaway? Maybe I get a takeaway fish and chips. These two words are not too different. If you're from Japan, you are using the American word, so you can answer this question for sure. One variety is the American word. But yeah, in Britain we use takeaway. And the American word is take out. Take out. Yes, it is. and then I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we're going to finish up for today. But I'm super happy you guys have joined me. Thank you so much. I did a live on Instagram earlier. Maybe you saw me on that. And I'm going to be doing another live later on an app called Hello. And then also, yeah, I'm on TikTok, YouTube, obviously, you're here, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So yeah, come and find me and let's chat and practice together. That's right, you got it, Paolo. That's exactly what both take away and take out mean. That's right. Okay, I'm going to finish on one easy one and one difficult one. Okay, so the easy one is this, the easy-ish eraser. Do you know what the British say instead of eraser? What do you think? Instead of eraser, what do we say? Do we say eraser? No, not in England. We say something else. Look at that. That's wonderful. Nice job. You got it spot on. It is rubber. Yeah, we say rubber. Rubber means something very different in America, so watch out for that. Many Americans will be very confused if you're pointing at an eraser and you say rubber. So yeah, just be a little careful there. But yeah, that is what that means. And then the last one is, in America, they often say schedule, probably. No, schedule. They say schedule. But what do we say in Britain? Whilst we do use schedule, we also have a different word, and it's really for the actual, not the, it's actually for not the idea, but the actual thing, the actual object, your schedule. You have an object in front of you called a schedule, or schedule, as we would say in Britain. Agenda's good, plan's good, but actually we have a different word, and we use it a lot in schools especially. What do you think? This is going to be the last one. I think this is a nice one to end on. It's not commonly known, I don't think, that there's another word for this. But the word is timetable. We say timetable in Britain instead of schedule. We don't really use schedule as much, or schedule, should I say. We use timetable. So yeah, there's another word for you. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you being here and spending your time with me. Hopefully you got the opportunity to see the live earlier as well. It was a nice chat. Serviette, well, what both are used. I think serviette's more, how can I say, it's a posher sounding word is the best way I can put it. We use napkin as well. We use both, but we do use serviette. I wonder if do you know what a doily is? That's a lush word as well. I don't know how to spell it actually. I've never tried to spell that word. There's been no need. I know how to spell more than one. I can spell it correctly. Wonderful news. Doily. Do you know what a doily is? Just a linked, slightly linked. It's just a nice word. I think it's really cute sound. A doily is like this, not a cup. I'm forgetting all terminology now. So not the thing that you put your cup on, a coaster, not a coaster, but it's like this circular piece of paper that has some pretty design, and it's usually surrounds the table, or is sometimes made out of a cloth as well. There's a really nice design. So what I'm going to do now, just to show you what that is, I'm going to put a picture of it on my Instagram stories. Check that out now. I've got to review some work from one of my students, which I'm going to do right at this minute, and plan some more work. And thank you again. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Yeah. Ciao.